Good morning, dear listeners across our beautiful island. You are tuned in to the station of the nation, Radio Sri Lanka. I'm your host, Romesh Piris, and it is a distinct privilege to welcome you to another edition of Timeless Voices. We are graced today by a legendary performer, a master of the rhythm, and an artist who has dedicated his journey to the soul of our music. Born Lucian, though many came to know him by the name given to him by an American manager back in his early days performing in the grand hotels of our island. He's an absolute icon of our entertainment history. From the enduring charm of Pretty Foxy Hen to a lifetime of sharing his gift with the nation, it is my sincere honor to welcome the inimitable Luke Henriqes to our studios. Luke, thank you for joining us on this Saturday morning to reflect on a career that has brought so much happiness to so many. Welcome to Timeless Voices.
Pleasure being with you, and I thank you so much, Ramesh, for inviting me. And I thank SBC for this opportunity.
Before everyone across the island came to know you as Luke, there was a chapter of your life performing in our grand hotels where an American manager decided a name change was in order. I'd love for our listeners to hear this straight from you. How did Lucian become Luke? And how did you manage to carry that name and that incredible spirit right through a legendary career that continues to this day?
Well, to begin with, in school, I was known as Lucian Henriqes. That's my name. But then I started music in 1969. In 1970 came my big break when I joined Claude Fernando. And I was singing with Claude and the Sensations at the Mount Rainier Hotel. And while we were doing evening music, there was a change happening to the Mount Lavinia Hotel. And that change brought about the Hyatt chain of hotels to take over Mount Lavinia. And with it came an American managing director. He came there and watched what was going on, and he saw how we were performing and what we were doing, and he said he wanted to do something, break new ground probably. So he brought about a new format where he had a weekly program for about 6 months running. And on that, he put various popular artists at that time, people like Desmond De Silva and, Noeline and Dalreen, MS Fernando. And I was just a bare amateur singing with Claude. But since he liked my style and he liked everything, he gave me 2 days with MS Fernando at the hotel for the program. This event came out with a lot of publicity and, newspaper publicity and things. And he said, you cannot go with this name. This name is not going to take you anywhere. He said, why don't you make your name Luke Henriqes so that even people who knew you as Lucian Henriqes will know that it is the same person. And this Luke Henriqes, spelled with a Q-E-S at the end, he gave us a lot of publicity and, our name was going. And this name got established in a very short period of time. So before long, people were calling me Luke and not Lucian. So that was about in 1970. Ever since that day, I have been known as Luke Henriqes.
Your music, particularly tracks like Pretty Foxy Hen, has become an inseparable part of our cultural fabric. When you look back at the early days, what was it about the rhythm and spirit of Baila that captured your heart and made you want to dedicate your life to this genre?
Actually, known as this rhythm of the Baila, this Baila song, the tempo. I think it was first spotted by Vijay Korea. At that time, I would not sing Baila. I would be singing all English songs, But he saw something within me that this can be done. So he got the late Karunaratna Abhisekara to write a song for me called Katarina Na La Sobana. So I think I'm one of the lucky Baila singers to have a song written by the late Karunaratna Abhisekara. And he wanted me to do that song. And he gave me, the melody happened to be an Indian melody. So he wrote the song to this melody. And he got me to sing it. In the good old days, when you do a recording, the recording has to be done in one take. You can't stop in the middle and edit and things like that. My Sinhala was putrid. It was very bad. I couldn't speak Sinhala properly. But yet, he knew that I would do it. And very persistently, he was with me. I don't like to tell you where it was done, but it was done in a major studio, right? And to cut a long story short, I did Katarina, Na La Sobana. And this went over the airwaves. And it got very popular. Apparently, I left the country and I had gone abroad. And I was singing in another country. This song had got tremendous popularity. Apparently, there had been 4 versions of Katarina done by various other people. But my particular song, the one that was done by me, the Na La Sobana, it got very popular. I think that's what got me to do baila thereafter. I started taking interest in doing baila because I saw that there was popular. When I came back, I didn't know that this had generated so much of popularity. So then after that, I started, singing, and people wanted me to sing this song always wherever I went. Then that I knew that this genre of music has got popular. What my style of doing it was very popular. So I started from there, and one thing led to another. I did a lot of baila cassettes. Then it came to this song that actually stole the limelight called Pretty Foxy Hen. There again, I was very blessed to be with one of the best bands the country produced, the late Stanley Pierce and the Fortunes. The Fortunes was a very powerful, very musical, very rich musical band, and I was singing with them. There was a time we had 2 saxophones and a trumpet, right, in the very, very good old days. And in that time, there were one saxophonist called Ranjit Pereira. One day he came to visit me in my home, and he was with me, and he was sharing a drink, and and he said, "Luke, you can't go on like this. You have to do a baila. Why don't you do a baila with some catchy words in English?" He just gave me that, after a couple of drinks, he just told me that. He said, "Why don't you do an English baila? Now you're doing baila. People know that you can do it. Why don't you do something with some catchy words?" It went into the back of my head, and it had probably stayed there. About 3 months after he visited me and he went away, one day while I was at home alone, this came into my mind. He said, "Why don't I do this?" And suddenly, I found myself singing this melody. And with those words, with the chorus, those words, not as it is found now in the song, but something like it. And it sounded very good. And I knew that it's a new melody. The melody is not there. Because I am a very keen listener of all genres of music, and I listen very frequently. So I knew that it was an original. So I worked on it. And then came Pretty Foxy Hen.
It is fascinating to hear you put words to that feeling, Luke. I'm sure as you say that, many of our listeners are tapping their feet along with the memory of that rhythm, feeling that exact same pulse that you felt all those years ago. No conversation about your career would be complete without addressing the very heartbeat of our local music scene. You have chosen to share rhythm of the baila with us. When you were developing this sound, what was the secret ingredient you felt was necessary to make it truly resonate with our people? Why does this particular rhythm hold the title of the defining pulse of our culture?
As Sri Lankans, our people like to enjoy. And they go to a party and they really like to dance their way out, and they're very joyful kind of people. With all the problems and difficulties the country may go through, they celebrate. So there are so many people singing baila in the country. And at that time there were many people and many Sinhala songs that got very popular. So there was no way that I am going to also find myself in that same genre trying to do the same kind of music. It's not going to get me very much far. So I thought I'm going to stick to this English way of doing bailas.
Amazing. It is exactly that pulse that connects us all, regardless of where we are on this beautiful island. It is a rhythm that bridges generations. Let's feel the heartbeat once again. This is Rhythm of the Baila.
This is the baila, baila, baila. Should you try to feel the pounding of the rhythms? Oh, you're sure to love its style. This is the baila, baila, baila. Do the baila. Oh, it's fine. Just feel the pounding of this rhythm and its style, style, style. This is the baila, baila, baila. Should you try to feel the pounding of the rhythms? Oh, you're sure to love its style. This is the baila, baila, baila. Do the baila. Oh, it's fine. Just feel the pounding of this rhythm and its style, style, style. I've sung to you in sunshine, I'll listen for the rain. I've sung to you in something new and whistled into fame. I'll sing to all the lowly, weak, the crippled and the strong. I'll sing until you want me to, just listen to them songs. For those who feel the rhythm, just a little bit of advice. The rhythm of the baila is a rhythm of delight, to keep your toes a-tapping and delightfully in song. Come dancing to them bailas and just dig into them songs. This is the baila, baila, baila. Should you try to feel the pounding of the rhythms? Oh, you should to love its style. This is the baila, baila, baila. Do the baila, oh, it's fine. Just feel the pounding of this rhythm and its style, style, style. Who are Sri Lankan, what a pride it is to be. We owe it to tradition, culture and to history. The playing of the baila on the banjo rabane. Begin to feel the baila and be proud of it today. Now for those who feel the rhythm, just a little bit of advice. Remember that the baila is a rhythm of delight, to keep your toes a-tapping and delightfully in song. Come dancing to them bailas and just dig into them songs. This is the baila, baila, baila. Should you try to feel the pounding of the rhythms? Oh, you're sure to love its style. This is the baila, baila, baila. Do the baila, oh, it's fine. Feel the pounding of this rhythm and its style, style, style.
Welcome back to Timeless Voices on the station of the nation, Radio Sri Lanka. If you are just tuning in, I'm your host, Henriqes, and we are continuing our deeply inspiring conversation with my very special guest this morning, the legendary Henriqes. Luke, we often speak of the golden era of our music as a time when melodies seem to flow from a deep collective well of inspiration. You grew up and flourished during a time when musicians, songwriters and broadcasters were tightly knit. Looking back at the studios and the stages of the 60s and 70s, what was it about that collective environment that helped push you to refine your craft? Do you feel that togetherness is something we are missing in today's digital landscape?
Yes, I would look at it like that. Because today, with this developing technology, I see that, music is losing its flavor. Music is something that comes through the pulse. It comes through the very feeling. It's an emotion. So with this new technology that's coming out, we may find very prominent and very effective music coming out. But it doesn't have, there's a feel that is transferred through music from one person to another. In the good old days, a singer, if he had a good voice and he had some good songs that he sang, there would be, if he was a male singer, there would be many female attractions that he would draw. Why? Have you stopped to think why? It is because of the voice and the manner in which that singer presents that song. It captivates the heart of the opposite sex. So naturally they are drawn to you. Today with this modern technology and the modern thing, how is that going to be transferred? In which way do you think it will be transferred? Because the voice that comes with feeling can be engineered to sound as something else, but it will be perfect music. But it can be engineered to sound as music, refined music. Already I have recognized that if you listen to these new productions that come through what is known as AI-generated music, at the moment country and reggae is very prominent. They sound the same. Every melody, every song sound the same. There is no emotion that is transferred, no feeling, no message. There is no captivating of the audience that you try to captivate. I may be wrong, but I don't think AI can captivate emotions that come from the heart and from your very spirit to another individual. It can never do that. Music is going to become a very stereotype thing without just something else.
We are currently at a crossroads where much of our musical heritage is at risk of being lost or misinterpreted. What does this concept of original music restoration mean to you personally, and why is it vital that we preserve these recordings in their purest form?
That's a very good question. Very good question. I would say that music, especially in a place like Sri Lankan Broadcasting Corporation, formerly known as Radio Ceylon, there was a time in the whole of Southeast Asia, Radio Ceylon was the most popular broadcasting corporation around the world. Many countries wait till their programs are aired to listen to it. And it was a very, very popular broadcasting corporation. Till the late 70s, this was the reality in Southeast Asia. Now, why was this? It is because of the selection of music that Radio Ceylon used to present over the airwaves. And people used to look over it, whether we had two genres used by the Radio Ceylon at that time. It was country music and Hindi music. Even India didn't have some of the songs that our Sri Lankan Broadcasting Corporation had at that time. Even India, they had lost some of those songs that they had. And all these stations around, they would be listening to this. So I think there is a natural archives, the former Radio Ceylon, Sri Lankan Broadcasting Corporation, even today. I think people should listen to this very carefully and take very serious note of this and archive all this material that only the Radio Ceylon and Sri Lankan Broadcasting Corporation can be proud to own today. Because that is a kind of music that you cannot change, you cannot duplicate. Even AI cannot bring that kind of energy and emotion that music generated to the audience.
You feel very strongly about the issue of music patency and protecting the rights of artists. From your perspective, what are the biggest challenges veteran musicians face today in ensuring their creations are respected and protected?
There again, I would think that's a very, very important question at this point in time. Gone are the days when people could buy vinyl records, have turntables. Apparently, they are sort of coming out again. And cassettes out. Today, you don't get any cassettes. People don't play in cassette tape anymore, even though the quality on cassette tape was excellent. The CD is also obsolete in certain countries. You don't find it. You can't even buy a CD. You want to record something else, you can't buy a CD. So it is something like, becoming obsolete. And in it, there is another situation that I see that is taking place. Today, there is this thing known as YouTube. And all artists around the world, they are making all their livelihood, all their earning, it's been generated through YouTube. Formerly, it would have been generated through the sale of their records, through CDs or vinyl records or whatever. Through the sale of their records, this income was generated for an artist. But today, it apparently comes through the YouTube. And YouTube has become a very strong platform for people to even place their advertisements, because billions of people are tuned into YouTube. But in our country, only very, very few people are benefiting from this YouTube. I feel that this nation doesn't have a proper performing rights entity. They don't have a proper association. The state has not got involved in it. The state should get involved, because this can generate so much of income to the country in foreign exchange. But it doesn't seem to be happening. And there are so many talented artists who are coming out with perfectly good originals that can be held together with any original that is brought out anywhere around the world. They have no platform for it to generate any income for them. So what do talented musicians in the country who are capable of creating new music, what's going to happen to them? Where would they find their livelihood from? How are they going to generate an income when they know only music? So I think it's unfair. In my understanding, it's high time that the state gets involved and think very seriously about what's happening to this kind of people in the country.
It is a heavy yet necessary conversation. Protecting that intellectual integrity is how we ensure that the next generation truly understands the value of the work they inherit. Your advocacy for these rights is a service to the entire industry. Look, we've spoken about the songs that touch the soul, but we also know you as the man who knows exactly how to light up a room. You brought Break the Bottle to our studio today, a song that carries such a mischievous, high-energy spirit. When you look back at the live performances of this track, what is it about the audience's reaction that still makes you smile?
It's actually something that I saw in everyday life as a singer. The character in Break the Bottle is a fictitious character. So this character who goes out, she breaks the bottle. And if you listen to the words of that song, this character is able to entertain the people who come into that environment. So I wrote a song like that. And I just made it a little more classy, by trying to show my infatuation to one of those characters.
Break the bottle, bristle lady, pour them your glass of wine. Be sure you dip them levers and never wonder why. Break the bottle, bristle lady, pour them your glass of wine. But be careful how you mingle with this apple of my eye. Break the bottle, bristle lady, pour them your glass of wine. Be sure you dip them levers and never wonder why. Break the bottle, bristle lady, pour them your glass of wine. But be careful how you mingle with this apple of my eye. Something about you, baby, I often wonder why. You make me feel so friendly, leaving no room to lie. Sometimes I think I know you and mixing with your smile. I want you for my lady, so not to question why. Break the bottle, bristle lady, pour them your glass of wine. Be sure you dip them levers and never wonder why. Break the bottle, bristle lady, pour them your glass of wine. But be careful how you mingle with this apple of my eye. On the table, apple cider, gin and lime. To those who come a-courting and have that special line. Her passion's for the taking, she's always with a smile. Come closer, Bristol lady, you're the apple of my eye. Break the bottle, Bristol lady, pour them your glass of wine. Be sure you dip them levers and never wonder why. Break the bottle, Bristol lady, pour them your glass of wine. But be careful how you mingle with this apple of my eye. In goodness she's a lady, virtuous to fulfill. In all her fun and beauty, there's better comfort still. I've got to know you, lady, though not in otherwise. Break the bottle, bristle lady, you're the apple of my eye. Break the bottle, bristle lady, pour them your glass of wine. Be sure you dip them levers and never wonder why. Break the bottle, bristle lady, pour them your glass of wine. But be careful how you mingle with this apple of my eye.
You are listening to Timeless Voices. Welcome back to the studio. That was, of course, the unmistakable sound of a true Sri Lankan icon. I'm joined today by my special guest, the man behind that enduring rhythm, Luke Henriqes. Luke, we've discussed the collaborative days of the past, but I'm curious about your perspective on your own evolution. After so many years of performing, how have you managed to keep your personal spark alive? What do you do to ensure that even now you are still enjoying the music as much as you did when you first started?
That's another very question with a broad perspective in it. But I like to say something. At that young age, if not for my music that kept me going, I don't think my life would have extended from there. But music was my forte, my love and everything, that kept me going. I would entertain people, hundreds of people, scores of people. When this particular song, this Pretty Foxy Hen came out, there were instances on major stages, mega musical shows, where the organizers have put me up When I try to get off, they put me up again just to sing that song. I've already sung it and I'm finished and I'm getting off. They put me up again to sing that song. I have sung that song 3 times at a stretch on the same stage. But if I tell you, when I got down from there and I got into my vehicle, I was a broken person. I had a split identity. And at that time, I was introduced to a church. And when I went to that church, I would go there and I would sit at a place. Nobody knew me. If there was a musician there, that person will know who I am. And I sat there. But something I observed in that church, this is the true reality. There was not a single person in that church who wore a face like I wore. Something that those people had, I don't have. I knew that. I started searching what it was. And that was the personality of the man they call Jesus. I accepted Jesus. My whole life changed from that day. Music became meaningful to me. It became more entertaining to me. I became a pleasant person for people to be around with. I started wearing that happiness and that joyful face that those people had that I saw in that church. And from that day, even I came out of music for quite some time. I suffered by not being able to speak. It's like the first song I did, Katarina, Vijay Kore, he had what we call Job's patience with him to get me to do that song because my singer, in one take I had to do the whole thing. Thank God I did it. My singer was sorry that I couldn't speak and I really suffered. But after I came to know Jesus, you'll be amazed. Today I share my testimony in Sinhala. I pray in Sinhala. I preach in Sinhala. And the most gifted talent I got, I have written gospel songs in Sinhala. This is all because the transformation that happened within me through Jesus.
Thank you for that vulnerability, Luke. It is often those quiet moments of faith that define an artist's character, far more than the spotlight ever could. It is a powerful reminder of the strength behind the songs we love. Having seen the industry evolve from the analog era to the digital age, what is one lesson you learned about staying true to your artistic vision while navigating the changing demands of the audience?
If I was to answer that question, we have to look at society and to where it stands now. There has been a major shift from when we were young to the youngsters that we see today. When you say digital era, today everybody, even people who has come from our age also to this generation today, all people are preoccupied. Seriously preoccupied. You stop and wonder, what do I mean by being preoccupied? You watch society wherever they may be and you try to gauge their priority in that particular day. What's their priority? You'll be amazed to find that everybody has a gadget in their hand and their whole world revolves around that gadget that is in their hand. Isn't that preoccupation? They are totally preoccupied. Their whole life is centered on that. They will leave home without their wallet, but they'll never leave home without that gadget that is in their hand. So in a situation like that, there is no time for the soul and the spirit to function in the liberty and freedom with which it functioned earlier.
That speaks volumes, Luke, to remain grounded in your artistic truth while the world moves at such a digital pace. That is a lesson many young performers today would do well to take to heart. Luke, we've been talking about the evolution of our music, but I'd like to pivot to a sound that feels like a beautiful photograph of a different time. You have chosen to share rum and Coca-Cola with us today. When you perform or listen to this song, what specific memories or atmospheres come back to you? Why is it important to you to keep this particular piece in your repertoire today?
That song, one that I have chosen, Rum and Coca-Cola, is from one of my CD album that I did. It's a cover version. There are 3 songs that are in that Rum and Coca-Cola. It's a medley, 3 songs. It's a very beautiful song. You know why? What happens is, when the rhythm of that song came out those days, as soon as we used to play that song, immediately it brought people to the floor. Because every song had a particular way of dancing and particular dance for it and things like that. When it becomes a medley like that of the same kind of song that comes around it, right? And when we were young, I remember, we used to listen to these choice programs. We wait for our favorite song to go. You know why? Because all our toes are tapping, waiting for that right song to come, and we knew that was the only time it's going to come. And as soon as it comes, we will all jump up at once, and start dancing. That particular kind of dance that was available, that was there for that particular kind of song. And it was very entertaining to us.
If you ever go down Trinidad, it makes you feel so very glad. Calypso sing and make up right, guarantee you one real good fine time. If you ever go down to Trinidad, it makes you feel so very glad. Calypso sing and make up right, guarantee you one real good fine time. Drinking rum and Coca-Cola, go down Pontimana, both mother and daughter, working for the Yankee dollar. Rum and Coca-Cola, go down Pontimana, both mother and daughter, working for the Yankee dollar. Ever go down to Trinidad, it makes you feel so very glad. Calypso sing, make up right, guarantee you one real good fine time. Drinking rum and Coca-Cola, go down Pontimana, both mother and daughter, working for the Yankee dollar. Goodbye, Joe, me got to go, me oh my oh. Me got to go, pull the pyro, get down the bio. My Yvonne, the sweetest one, me oh my oh. Son of a gun, we'll have big fun on the bio. Jambalaya, crawfish pie, fillet jumbo. 'Cause tonight I'm gonna see my much mio. Big guitar, fill fruit jar, and big ayo. Son of a gun, we'll have big fun on the bio. Goodbye, Joe, we got to go, me oh my oh. Me got to go, for the pyro, get down the bio. My Yvonne, the sweetest one, me and my oh. Son of a gun, we'll have big fun on the bio. Oh, jambalaya, crawfish pie, fillet jumbo. 'Cause tonight I'm gonna see my much mio. Big guitar, filled fruit jar, and big ayo. Son of a gun, we'll have big fun on the bio. When I was just a little boy, my father said to me, come here and take a lesson from the lovely lemon tree. My son, it's most important, my father said to me, to put your faith in what you feel and not in what you see. Lemon tree, very pretty, and the lemon flower is sweet, but the fruit of the lemon is impossible to eat. Lemon tree, very pretty, and the lemon flower is sweet, but the fruit of the lemon is impossible to eat. Beneath the lemon tree one day, my love and I did lie. A girl so sweet that when she smiled, the sun rose in the sky. We passed the summer lost in love beneath that lemon tree. The music of her laughter hid my father's words from me. Lemon tree, very pretty, and the lemon flower is sweet, but the fruit of the lemon is impossible to eat. Lemon tree, very pretty, and the lemon flower is sweet, but the fruit of the lemon is impossible to eat.
Welcome back to Timeless Voices on Radio Sri Lanka. We have been taking a wonderful walk down memory lane this morning, and I'm honored to say we are back in conversation with my special guest, the maestro himself, Duke Henriqes. Even after all these years, your performance remain vibrant and full of life. Where do you draw your energy from, and what do you see in the eyes of the audience that tells you are still exactly where you are meant to be?
I give my thanks and I praise to God Almighty to this very day who has led me, who has been guiding me, directing me, watching over me, caring for me. And it is His strength and His energy that is there within me for me to even pursue and carry on in my profession even now. Because when you are caught up in age and you come up, the first thing that you want to do is just stay at home and hit the sack sort of thing. That kind of attitude and mentality is what happens to you when you come to that age. And most people, that is what has happened. But when you have God on the inside, everything else on the outside is taken care of by Him. That's very important. To have God on the inside, help Him take care of what is on the outside, because He'll help you and everything will be okay. So I pursue life in that same way.
Many of our listeners know you as a performer. You can fill a room with boundless energy, but there is an equally strong, quiet force that has been the anchor of your life, your faith. When you look back at the various seasons of your career, both the times of great celebration and the inevitable seasons of trial, how has your spiritual life served as the bedrock of your artistic journey? How do you reconcile the showman on the stage with the man of faith who seeks peace and purpose in everything he does?
Very beautiful question. There's a vision that I saw. I used to love to perform on stage, especially the big stages. But I had just come to know Jesus, and my life had now come out of that, retreating into that shell effect I told you. One day, I was contracted to sing at an open-air show like that in Nuvarelio. And those shows start a little late at night. The band and 8 artists were singing, and I was practically at the end. I was singing on that stage. And as soon as I started singing, onto my right, up in the darkness there, I saw this image of the face of Jesus, absolutely distinct. I saw that image. I can't forget that image. Even now, I can see that image. While I started singing, a burst of energy came to me. I do not know from where. I think if you took my performances that I performed all over, I would call that would have been the best performance I've ever performed on stage. That was so fantastic. I just pondered upon it a lot, and finally I found, I think after that is what made me come out of music and things like that. So I would think that my energy thereafter, why I still continue with this passion and still go about it, came because I gave it back from where I got it. And it was taken back and given to me as a gift. Right? So now I use it, and after that, I had done so many of these gospel songs and all that. And actually being able to be very happy, right, that I was able to do that. And I'm very satisfied with the outcome of that. Better than even my Pretty Foxy. And there is an element or two. We are all governed by some external force. Whether we like it or not, whether we believe it or not, and we understand it, the easier it is for us to deal with life.
We have talked about the rhythm that gets the nation dancing, but there is a profound serenity in your music as well. You have chosen to share your song Healing, or the refined version Sing Welcome Jesus, with us today. For someone who has spent so long in the spotlight, what does this particular piece represent to you, Luke? Is it a prayer, a message of comfort, or perhaps a reflection of the peace you found in your own life?
Yeah, if it is the peace that you find in your life, comfort comes together with it, and you are at peace with your own self, your peace with society, your peace with everything around you. Ultimately, all that we do from our young age, that we endeavor, visualize, we focus, we aspire to accomplish, and everything that we do, there is a portion of scripture that says, what does it profiteth a man if he gains the whole world and loses his own soul? The meaning of that is that you can achieve everything that you have. If you don't have the peace of mind and the comfort to enjoy all that you had, what good is it going to do for you? So I think at the end of the day, the peace that passes and surpasses all human understanding that only God can give you. When you have that, you have everything else. To enjoy all that God has brought along the way, the ups and the downs and the trials and the hopelessness and everything, you learn from everything. I have learned from every start of my life, and I have come to the final evaluation that the peace of God passes and surpasses all human understanding and comprehension, and today I am there. I thank God that I am there. I think it is foolishness to depart from it, and I continue like that.
So here it is, that beautiful gospel song, Sing Welcome Jesus.
us the flowers, who gives us what's ours, who came down from heaven, praise the Lord. Oh God, do make me holy, I'm sinful and unworthy, I know not who I am, so help me God. Sing welcome Jesus, oh welcome Jesus, please wash and purify my sinful soul. Sing welcome Jesus, oh welcome Jesus, strengthen this body from within my soul. Us His loving in abundance so fulfilling, who came down to earth in the name of the Lord. For all our sins He suffered, His most precious blood He shed, yet do we believe He died to save us all. Sing welcome Jesus, oh welcome Jesus, please wash and purify my sinful soul. Sing welcome Jesus, oh welcome Jesus, strengthen this body from within my soul. God, I'm weak and weary, I need to know Thee clearly, to love, to cherish and glorify Thy name. We'll lift our hearts and voices to sing songs of joyful praises. Oh, give to me the power of Thy word. Sing welcome Jesus, oh welcome Jesus, please wash and purify my sinful soul. Sing welcome Jesus, oh welcome Jesus, strengthen this body from within my soul. Sing welcome Jesus, oh welcome Jesus, please wash and purify my sinful soul. Sing welcome Jesus, oh welcome Jesus, strengthen this body from within my soul.
Welcome back to Timeless Voices on the station of the nation. I'm Ramesh Piris, and we are continuing our conversation with my special guest, Duke Henriqes. If you were to offer one piece of wisdom to a young musician today, someone who is just starting to write their own songs and hopes to have a career as enduring as yours, what would that advice be?
If that person is actually like it's an inborn talent and it is natural there within him, there is not much that you need to tell that person, because for one thing, in the middle of the night also he will get up with a melody in his head, with words and everything in his head, and he will start writing, because that's the natural talent that comes to a person. But still there are people who feel they like to contribute and do something for music. Know your music properly, and you have to first of all be a good listener. If you are not an ardent listener to music, just not one genre, to every genre of music, you are going to falter somewhere. The copyright laws have about 3 places within a song that cannot have the same particular notes that are come in another song. That's the copyright law. Now that is being an ardent listener. Why is that necessary? If you are a composer, that is an absolute necessity. If not, you will waltz into somebody else's melody unawares. Being a very good composer, you have to be dedicated. Dedication is of great importance to what you are doing to your profession. That there are certain musical parts that copyrights don't allow, like introductions and interludes and stuff like that. There are certain parts that you can't. Those parts have been copyrighted. That kind of thing. Like you get like people have brought like Hotel California. It has as a part at the end. Now that have been copyrighted. Nobody can use anything of that, any part of that into one of their interludes. There are songs like that where you get like signature tunes. There are many things. So you have to be perfect. All genres of music have their signature in certain songs. So you have to be very careful. So when you listen to that, because music revolves around 8 notes. That's all. So you have to be very careful how you manipulate and arrange those notes. Right? So for that you have to be an ardent listener. You'll be shocked. People like Strauss and all, they didn't know how to write music. But the music that came into their head was mind-boggling to other people. Other people had to write the ideas that came into their mind. So there are a lot of very prominent people in the world, great musicians, who don't know to write music. That's not an issue. Those are talented people with an inborn talent. That talent, a person who has that talent, he doesn't have to worry about entering into another person's copyright and all that, because very rarely will it happen. Because the melody that he gets or she gets, it will be an original. Because this copyright thing is going to become effective at some stage in life very soon. It's going to be like breaking the law of the land. It's going to be so strict and so serious. With this advancement in technology, in an instant, can be brought up, it can be compared. They have all the graphics, note to note. Any genre, any language, very soon that's going to happen. And when that happens, YouTube is bringing out a way where these will be totally taken out. They can never be put in again also. Whatever you try, you can stand on your head, it will never be able to, you can't include it. So that's happening. They are working on that technology now.
Luke, listening to you share those experiences, I'm struck by how your personal journey has so perfectly mirrored the heartbeat of our nation. It is exactly those kind of stories, the ones that go beyond the stage and into the heart of our culture, that we strive to capture here on Timeless Voices. You're not just sharing a song, you are sharing a piece of our collective history, and for that we are all richer. Looking back, it is impossible to hear the opening notes of Pretty Foxy Hen and not feel that immediate rush of celebration. It has woven itself right into the fabric of our collective memories. But Luke, when you first laid down tracks for this in the studio, did you ever imagine it would become the ultimate crowd pleaser that it is today? And now, as we reach the final stretch of our time together, you've chosen this very melody for your final sign-off. After a lifetime sharing your music, why does this track feel like the truest goodbye? And what final thought do you want to leave with our listeners?
Ramesh, when this song came with this catchy chorus, I went ahead with it, and the opportunity actually presented itself. I was called upon to do a recording where all the popular artists in the country did 2 songs for that particular cassette. So I just at that time, I was at the recording, and I just told Stanley, I said, look Stanley, I have this song. I said, it's an English baila. He said, can't we include this? So he said, let me hear it. So I sang it to him. He stopped immediately. He called in 2 of his musicians. Immediately he took his saxophone, blew this part and got them to write it. If I tell you, you'll be shocked. In 15 minutes, the music was composed and we did the track for that song. He was so taken up with the song, and a beautiful arrangement of music, that Stanley introduced to my melody. It was very nice. Apparently I had given SLBC a spool copy of it. It was stashed away in a drawer for about 1 year after I had given it. Finally, one of our English announcers, he had stumbled upon this. He was searching for something and opened this drawer, and he saw this spool tape there. And he read it, and he found the music by Stanley Pierce and song by so-and-so. And by that time, I had sort of, with my Katarina and all, I had gathered a name. He just took it and he wanted to see what this song was, and he played it for him to listen. And he said, what on earth is this doing here? He said, how could this be seated here? And this person actually took it out and he started using it. In a very short space of time, this song got very popular, and it had gone amongst people, and it became like a sought after song. So actually I thank SABC for doing this, because they are the ones who brought that song out, and it became very popular. And Luke Henriqes became a household name.
As we bring this conversation to a close, I find myself truly inspired by the journey we've retraced today. Luke, thank you for your immense generosity, your wisdom, and for sharing the stories behind the songs that have soundtracked so many of our lives. You have reminded us all that true music does not age, it only grows deeper with time.
Thank you so much, Ramesh, for inviting me, and I hope that more programs of this nature, very insightful to people, and that people will be able to know how to protect and care for the music and its creations that this nation can bring forward in future.
I would like to thank our dedicated production team for their hard work and technical support in bringing this broadcast to the airwaves today. For our listeners who wish to revisit this interview, I invite you to head over to the official Radio Sri Lanka YouTube page. There, you can discover this conversation and honor the wonderful legacy of the various esteemed artists who have graced our studios, each contributing their own unique chapter to this program. Do join us again next Saturday morning on the Station of the Nation when we will be hosting another legendary performer to continue our celebration of musical excellence. Until then, thank you for your company and may your weekend be filled with melody and peace. I'm Ramesh Piris. Good morning.
She's so lovely, lovely, lovely looking, a pretty and lovely, lovely kicking, a pretty and lovely, lovely looking thing. Oh, she's a roly-poly, lonely looking, roly-poly, lonely kicking, a roly-poly, pretty foxy hen. Oh, she's so lovely, lovely, lovely looking, a pretty and lovely, lovely kicking, a pretty and lovely, lovely looking thing. Ball a rolling, let me tell him of this loner. I tell him she's a special kind of hen. You're sure to think me crazy, don't ever meaning to play dirty. Oh, to belly, how can I explain? At times I see you passing, don't ever see you laughing. If I could only know for sure. So my pretty looking loner, please tell me you are under, ready for this man to make his go. Oh, my pretty looking loner, please tell me you are under, ready for this man to make his go. Oh, she's the roly-poly, lonely looking, roly-poly, lonely kicking, a roly-poly, pretty foxy hen. Oh, she's so lovely, lovely, lovely looking, a pretty and lovely, lovely kicking, a pretty and lovely, lovely looking thing. Setting off the sun shining through the black hair makes her look so special for a friend. To think she drives you crazy in a silent motion frenzy. You stick to her lies, stick into her game. Even when she's passing, you sleep alone or laughing. It never seems so real or sure. So my pretty looking loner, please tell me you are ready for this man to make his go. And my pretty looking loner, please tell me you are ready for this man to make his go. Oh, she's the roly-poly, lonely looking, roly-poly, lonely kicking, a roly-poly, pretty foxy hen. Oh, she's so lovely, lovely, lovely looking, a pretty and lovely, lovely kicking, a pretty and lovely, lovely looking thing. Oh, she's the roly-poly, lonely looking, roly-poly, lonely kicking, a roly-poly, pretty foxy hen. Oh, she's so lovely, lovely, lovely looking, a pretty and lovely, lovely kicking, a pretty and lovely, lovely looking.